My name is Ethan Parker. I am 30 years old and I live in a small town in Texas. My life is simple and quiet. Every morning I wake up at 6 o'clock, make a cup of coffee, eat a small breakfast, and drive to work. I work at a grocery store near my apartment. It is not a difficult job, and most days are exactly the same. I stock shelves, help customers find products, and sometimes work at the cash register. After work, I usually come home, eat dinner, watch television, and go to bed. Many people would probably say that my life is boring, but I never thought much about it. In fact, I often told myself that I was lucky because I had an easy life. I lived alone in a small apartment on the edge of town. The apartment was not fancy, but it was clean and comfortable. The rent was affordable, and it was only a short drive from my job. I had a few friends, but we did not meet often. Most of them were busy with their own lives. Some were married, some had children, and others had moved away. Because of that, I spent most of my free time by myself. At first, I enjoyed the peace and quiet. However, after several years, everything began to feel the same. Every day looked like the day before, and every week felt exactly like the previous one. One Saturday morning, I decided to go for a walk in the town park. The weather was beautiful.
The sky was bright blue, and a gentle breeze moved through the trees. Families were having picnics, children were playing near the playground, and people were walking their dogs. I found an empty bench near a small lake and sat down. For the first time in several days, I felt completely relaxed. I watched ducks swimming across the water and listened to birds singing in the distance. A few minutes later, an elderly man sat down beside me. He looked to be around 70 years old. He wore a simple blue shirt, old jeans, and a baseball cap. His face was covered with wrinkles, but his eyes seemed bright and full of energy. He smiled and nodded politely. "Beautiful day, isn't it?" he asked. "Yes, it is," I replied. We sat quietly for a moment, watching the lake. Then he turned toward me. "You seem happy," he said. I smiled. "I think I am." "That's good," he answered.
A lot of people spend their whole lives chasing happiness. I laughed softly. "Well, I'm not chasing anything. My life is pretty simple." The old man nodded. "And what makes you happy?" His question surprised me. It seemed simple, but I suddenly realized I did not know the answer. Nobody had ever asked me that before. "I'm not sure," I admitted. "I have a steady job. I have a place to live. I pay my bills on time. Everything is fine." The old man looked at me carefully. "Fine," he repeated. "That's an interesting word." "What do you mean?" I asked. He leaned back against the bench and looked at the lake. "Many people say they're fine," he said, "but being fine and being fulfilled are not always the same thing." I frowned slightly. "I don't understand." The old man smiled. "An easy life can be comfortable, but comfort is not always happiness. Sometimes people become so comfortable that they stop growing, they stop learning, they stop dreaming." His words stayed in my mind. I wanted to argue with him, but I couldn't.
Something about what he said felt true. Before I could respond, the old man stood up. "It was nice talking to you," he said. "You too," I replied. Then he walked away, disappearing along a path lined with trees. I remained on the bench for nearly another hour. The longer I sat there, the more I thought about his question. What makes you happy? The truth was that I didn't know. That evening I sat alone in my apartment. The television was on, but I was not paying attention. Instead, I kept thinking about my life. Nothing was wrong with it. I had a job, I had food, I had a roof over my head. Yet I could not remember the last time I felt excited about something. I cannot remember the last time I learned a new skill, visited a new place, or challenged myself to do something difficult. For years, I had been living the same day over and over again. The realization made me uncomfortable. The next morning, I found an old notebook in a kitchen drawer. I sat at my table with a pen and began writing down things I had always wanted to do but never tried. The list started small: travel to another state, learn photography, read more books, meet new people, learn how to cook, take a public speaking class, volunteer somewhere in the community. When I finished, I looked at the list and felt something I had not felt in a long time: excitement. For the first time in years, I had goals.